We didn't break up. We decayed. You don't always notice decay at first. Sometimes it smells like lavender and cooks your favorite pasta and kisses your neck before bed. Sometimes decay looks like routine, like folded laundry and shared calendars, like empty wine glasses lined up like trophies from nights that used to end in lovemaking, but now end in soft sighs and screen glow. I remember the day I knew we were done, not because you said it. You never did, you never had to. You were sitting right across from me, same table, same coffee, same sunlight leaking through the blinds. But your eyes weren't here anymore. They were somewhere, far, somewhere I couldn't follow, and for the first time, your silence felt like a goodbye I hadn't earned. We didn't break up. We decayed. And God, rot is quiet. Before the rot, God, there was gold. You used to laugh like your joy couldn't be contained. Full body laughter, eyes squinted, nose scrunched, like the world didn't deserve the sound you gave it. And me? I was the luckiest man in every room. Not 'cause you were the prettiest, though you were, but because you chose me loudly, deliberately, every single day. I remember your rituals, the way you tucked your left leg under your thigh when you got comfortable on the couch, the way you'd hum just barely when cooking as if feeding me was a spell you were casting. And God, the way you touched my face when you thought I was asleep, like you were memorizing me, like you were praying over something you were afraid to lose. We weren't perfect, no, but we were present, and presence, that was everything. We made breakfast together on Sundays, argued about syrup versus honey, laughed too much, told secrets at 1:17 a.m. You always said that was your favorite time, 1:17 right before dreams get too loud. You once told me I feel safest when your voice is the last thing I hear. And I swore I'd protect that feeling, guard it like a fire in a frozen world, but you stopped asking me to talk you to sleep. And I didn't notice when that silence started to feel normal. Before the decay, there was a woman who made me believe that maybe, just maybe, home wasn't a place. It was a person. And I'd found her. It didn't happen all at once, it was little things at first. The good morning text came later, then not at all. Your laugh, once reckless and warm, became polite, soft, like something you borrowed from a stranger and weren't sure you were allowed to keep. You stopped finishing your stories. You trail off halfway through, and I stopped asking how they ended, not because I didn't care, but because I could already see you didn't want to share the ending with me. And God, the hugs. Do you remember how you used to melt into me, how your shoulders would drop like the weight of the world had been lifted just by touching my chest? That stopped too. Now your hugs came with one arm, a tap on the back, like a handshake disguised in affection. The silence didn't scream, it whispered, it crept in like fog. One moment the view was clear, the next I couldn't see us anymore. I used to count the seconds between the question I'd ask and your reply, 5, 10, 15. Eventually you stop replying at all. You can live with someone who's already packed their soul and left. I did. Every night you crawled into bed like it was a duty, not a desire. Your back to me, a line of cold between us where warmth used to live. I would stare at the ceiling, counting the ceiling fan rotations. Like maybe if I stared long enough, God would give me a sign. But silence was my roommate, and I learned to make peace with it. Dinner got quieter. You'd scroll, I'd chew. I started memorizing your profile instead of your smile. And the worst part, I stayed. Not because I was strong, not because I didn't see it, but because I still remembered the girl who once said she felt safest with me. And I thought maybe if I just held on tight enough she'd come back. But love doesn't return to where it no longer feels seen. I made your favorite playlist, you didn't notice. I bought that candle you liked, the one that smelled like rosemary and rain. You said it gave you a headache. I cooked, you picked at the food. I wrote you a letter, not a text, a real letter. Folded it, put it on your pillow. You never mentioned it. I found it a week later in the trash, unopened, still folded. I planned a weekend getaway. You said you were too tired, too much work. Maybe next month. I traced the outline of your shoulder one night, just gently, hoping your body would remember mine. You flinched. I stopped trying after that. I stopped, not because I stopped loving you, but because I finally accepted. You had already stopped loving me. The funeral didn't have black suits, no flowers, no tearful eulogies. Just a Thursday, rain tapping on the window, you brushing past me in the kitchen without looking up. That was the moment. That was when I knew the woman who once memorized the freckles on my chest now couldn't be bothered to say excuse me. I held a funeral in my heart that day, quiet, alone, no guests. I wrote a eulogy in my head to the love that came like spring but died like frost, slow, unannounced, and too early. You were still in the house, still breathing beside me at night, still sharing meals, chores, silence. But you were gone. And I was a man, learning how to mourn what was still technically alive. So I said goodbye, not to your face, but to your memory, to the warmth, to the laughter, to the girl who once said, "Talk me to sleep." I buried you softly, with reverence, and left flowers in the place you stopped watering.